Hello and welcome to another episode of In Conversation with Colton. This week I'm with the lovely Tom and Kieran from the band LNLY HRTS. So hello boys.
Hello, you alright?
Hello, yeah I am actually. No one ever asked me, so I'm good. Are you alright?
People. Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Well, that's so lovely. Lockdown anxiety and all that. So I'm asking all my guests this, of course, what have you been up to in lockdown? Not just musically, but in your exciting lives in general?
It's been a weird one, to be honest. So naturally quite ambitious anyway. So we decided to give ourselves the task of essentially writing and self-producing demos for our debut album. But that's just the way we work. So we're always working on music anyway. But outside of music, it's just been, there's not much to do, to be honest. Like I'm finding, even if I talk to friends, I've got nothing to say.
A lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
Oh,
No, there's been a lot of it's been a struggle, just for mental states.
It's been hard. It's so hard. Especially when, you say, especially going into lockdown, we had all this ambition of we were getting gigs and we were doing stuff, and then lockdown happens, and if you have ambitions and stuff, and the world just goes.
Yeah.
It just felt like that, and it was so our way of doing it, I guess, was like Kieran says, is we'll do the album. If we can do anything, we'll do the album.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been a mixed bag, really. It's hard to be focused when there's so much going on in the world as well, isn't it? It's hard to channel that.
Yeah. We're trying to stay active as well.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Hitting the gym and all that, even though you can't hear. On a positive note, though, so your style to me is super electronic, and I've got here that you describe your music as ambient, which I love so much. I wrote down. So, how have you sort of developed your style as a band, or has this from the outset been this is what we want and this is what we're going to stick to?
It's strange because it's funny going in. We always said we never touched really acoustic guitars and stuff like that, did we?
No, never.
We were so electronically focused.
Actually, we have got our last track on.
There's a couple of stuff, but generally speaking, we are electronically driven. It's weird coming into this lockdown period because we were in the house with acoustic guitars all the time. So a lot of what we're doing now behind the scenes has sort of took a lean in towards more acoustic guitar based stuff, but everything that's out there at the moment is very electronically focused.
Yes, Koala.
Yeah.
So I'm not just blowing smoke up your backside, but it is genuinely my favourite song of yours. The electronic intro and everything like that, and also if my calculations are correct, you released the music video for it a year ago yesterday.
Seriously?
Yeah. Did I not tell you?
No.
Sorry.
I've just told you, it's fine.
Amazing.
So you don't have to tell me the meaning of every lyric on the track or anything like that, but dissect it a little bit for me. So what was it like making it? Who writes the lyrics?
Story it started when you were 17, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a proper old song. I was in a band when I was from 15 through to 18. We broke up when we were about 18. And then
why? Is there a sad story?
It's not even. We just all went off to uni and did other stuff. But during that time, I was the sort of songwriter for that, and I had this I just bought a synth. So I was like, right, okay. I don't know if it fits in the band I'm in currently. So I was just
coming out.
Yeah, beautiful. There you go.
But
it was just a case of I had this synth, and it was I had not had a synth before, so
caught it really well then.
It didn't fit the band I was in at the time. So I was 17, and I can remember being quite sad that this band was ending because it was towards the end of that, and finding a way of I couldn't sing at the time, and I couldn't really. I was a guitarist who wrote songs and stuff, and then all of a sudden I had the synth, and I was like, right, okay, that's my next thing. And it wasn't until I was 20 that I wrote the next LNLY HRTS song. That was the one LNLY HRTS thing. And it was just written when I was 17. Sort of put it in a drawer and went, that'll be useful one day.
Yeah.
And then
it is useful nowadays.
It is useful nowadays. And then meeting Kieran and starting LNLY HRTS and stuff, it was I've got this song, and then that kind of became the blueprint for the rest of it.
Yeah, that's always been the blueprint. I think it's one that we love to play live.
Yeah.
It's just it feels more immature than our other ones, but we love that because it's
jovial,
straight up electro pop song.
Yeah. It's so good. Even the video though, it's so colourful.
Thank you.
And how did you come up with the idea for that video as well? Yeah.
Right, so we'd gone.
This is his favourite part of the story.
Yeah. The video, I'd had a completely different idea for the video at the time.
I wasn't even in the band.
Kieran wasn't even in the band.
No. It was Tom's idea that I don't know. It was before. I think you'd even called it LNLY HRTS.
It was. Yeah, it was. I'd had the song, and then I'd done a few songs. I didn't have LNLY HRTS as a name, but it was just me.
It's that hangover kicking in. Can't quite talk properly.
I'm not hungover.
Yeah,
I am,
he's
but it's fine.
responsible. But yeah, so the video was like, I had a mate who had a camera, so we were like, okay, we'll get together and do this. I had a completely different idea for it. I have this like, it was like sort of like an abandoned building near my house, and we're like, oh, we'll go there and do it there.
Yeah.
And I had this whole like, oh, and then like you plan stuff out like that, and you're like, oh, and the camera will pan up and all this, and we stood there, and was like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
What we did have was a projector and some slides with like
It
different
works
colours on.
so well though. You have to go and check it out. Koala, Lonely Hearts on YouTube. And also, I know this is such a cliche question, and you probably get asked it all the time like that, but why are you called Lonely Hearts? Do you have a lonely heart?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Why?
we're definitely sad boys.
Yeah.
Are you?
We're just so sad all the
Yeah,
time.
self-confessed soft boys.
Yeah, I call Lonely Hearts, funnily enough, because the girl I used to be in a band with when I was like 16 or whatever, I was at her house one time, I can't remember what happened, but we'd gone back to hers and we were just talking through, and I was playing her the song. Ooh, I know. We were playing, not like that, but we were playing the songs, and I went, I can't think of a name for it, and she just went, oh, Lonely Hearts, and I went, to be honest, the first time I was like, I don't really like that, and then I was like, took it home, and you remember that? Well, Fall Out Boy were a big band for me when I was growing up. They had a song called Thanks for the Memories, and it had no vowels in it, and I was like, that's the coolest thing. So I took the vowels out and looked at it, and I was like,
It does look bloody
it
cool.
looks cool.
I'll tell you that.
And that's half the battle, innit? Having something that looks cool.
Yeah.
And then you've got a brand, but yeah, it was kind of just one of them things that someone just suggested, and I was like, oh, it'll have to be that now. But we'd had loads of names, haven't we? We were trying to start a band before we were even in.
It was so weird. I was sort of I had an idea for like, because I love ambient music, and I think I brought that out of Tom. Like he's brought
Ambient.
that sort of pop punk sound.
Yeah.
out of, like, me, I guess. But so I had the idea initially of doing my project. He was going to be like Lonely Hearts, and I was going to be Conifer, and I was going to bring out an ambient EP, but that never happened because we
might
got busy
happen
with.
one day.
Well, we'll see, but.
Keep your eyes
We
peeled.
because we were like always talking about being in a band, weren't we?
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm just going to do some songs, because I was like, that was kind of felt like do or don't for me, and I was like, get them done. And we'd been talking before it, and we had like Cordial and the Dreamers, Double Concentrate.
I think we looked at a bottle of squash.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
it. We
love
were in
that.
There was two of us, and we was looking at this bottle of squash on the table. And,
Bottle of
I think
squash.
It was double concentrate.
Double
And we was like, oh my
concentrate.
god, there's two of us.
Yeah.
Double concentrate. And then we
weren't
flipped
serious
it, and then we
about
was
it.
going to do Cordial and the Dreamers, but then Lonely Hearts happened.
Reason
Thank God for
took
that.
over, and we didn't do that.
Yeah, you thought,
Yeah.
let's not be like completely stupid.
Yeah.
So we basically came up with this sort of Lonely Hearts isolation tape series that Tom had been working on, and he put together a couple of remixes. One was a remix of Youth by Daughter.
Yes, got
which
that
is-
written down
There you
here.
go.
Ellie does her research.
Research.
And also Lana Del Ray, West Coast. Got that out.
Yeah.
Basically, it was my job to create the visuals for it, and at that time it was such a sad time.
They're so trippy, by the way. I was
Yeah,
watching
really
it like going
trippy.
outside.
So it felt with it being called Youth, I wanted like a nostalgic aspect to it.
Yeah.
So I found some really old, some old Disney animations and stuff, cut them all up, and
They're
created
almost a
really
bit creepy.
Yeah, this really sad vibe. And then I got this still, which was that that ugly duckling. And when the teardrops fall, I was just like, oh my god, that's so Lonely Hearts.
Perfect.
So,
It's like poetic,
yeah,
almost
we probably
romantic.
completely put it on brand, and we were like, let's just run with it.
Yeah.
So it's still there now because
It is. It looks lovely. So when we first ever spoke, you kind of said to me like, we had so much planned for this year, and then obviously Corona's hit, and it's all just sort of thrown it out the window. Or not thrown it out the window, put it on pause. So
exactly.
you don't have to tell me everything because there's got to be an air of mystery. I won't take all that away from you. But what actually can you tell me that you did have planned for this year? I said that like Yoda, but you understand what I mean.
Do you want me to?
Go on, yeah.
Okay, so basically,
Spreadsheet brain.
Yeah.
we was really busy towards the end of 2019, and we recorded a couple of songs. One's not released yet, which was the next thing we wanted to do to start our next era with the next EP, which we won't give the name of yet.
No.
So
It's a secret.
I was like,
So basically, we're it's a song that we've been working on for so long, and I think where we are up to now, it just feels like it's probably the best thing we've done so far, and we're so excited to release it.
Yeah.
So we just need to get everything sorted.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying though, because it was like we'd
We
actually
had so much
planned it
momentum.
though, hadn't we?
Yeah.
We planned this sort of break so that we could
My
come
bottom
back.
lip's coming
I
out
know,
for you.
mine too. And the sun's going.
I know, it's
But,
like
yeah, we-
pathetic fallacy.
I know,
Sorry.
that's
You
so
should
good.
know
That's
that
that's
English.
so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd planned the gap. We'd had this like, oh, we're gonna take a breather of like 2 months here, hadn't we? Literally, like the next day, COVID happened,
Yeah.
and then we were like, right, okay, that's fine. It's sort of, you know, it's not the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And the longer it goes on now, it's like, you know, there's stuff that we'd had planned that was like, you know, music videos and so on. And at times like this, the world does take, you know what I mean? You've got to.
See the bigger
there are more
picture.
important things.
But also
than,
that was like a massive thing for you in your life, so it's not selfish to think like I'm aware of what's happened, but at the same time this was meant to be so big for you.
yeah.
Do you know what I
But
mean?
it is one of them, isn't it? But
Yeah, but we've just had to think about how we was going to use lockdown to our advantage.
Yeah.
And we've been writing some, you know, songs that obviously mean a lot because we've just been living in the same house, like living on each other's, you know,
on top of each.
On top of each other, I was going to say, but you said it for me, you know, cheeky.
So yeah,
Keep it
we've
PG,
just
guys.
couldn't really escape each other, so we ended up just writing constantly, and the songs obviously mean a bit more when
Yeah,
that happens. So
yeah.
I'm just can't wait.
It's
to
been a
get back on
blessing
stage.
in disguise, isn't
Yeah.
it? Really, I think it's allowed us time to like, because we were at the time. It's weird looking back on it because we were at a point where we were like, oh, this is all very exciting, and it was all happening quite quick, and it's like, oh God, you know, it's given us time to sort of centre ourselves again,
Yeah,
which has been nice.
I've been learning how to produce as well. We
Yeah.
download
Oh, multi-skilled, that's what we like. So you sort of touched on it there. It's whereabouts have you actually gigged or were hoping to gig this year?
So we're quite new to, I guess, the scene. Like before, our first gig was in October 2019, supporting the River Method with
Where was that?
at Network 2 in
Right.
Sheffield. So
Which was we were the first band to play that
we
stage.
were, yeah.
Exclusive?
Yeah,
Just
man.
opened. So we've just been gigging around Sheffield, and we've got plans to branch out. Like obviously, me being from the south, I really, really want to do a gig in London.
From the south, down London. That's so embarrassing. Continue.
So we want to go there. Obviously, really want to play Manchester, and
It's
I think
Leadmill for me. Yes, I think Leadmill. I would love to play Leadmill.
Village Underground in London is such a cool venue, and obviously the awful news, well, turned out to be good news now, was Deaf Institute in Manchester.
Yeah.
Like that, I love that venue, but obviously it got shut down because of the situation. But now it's reopened, which is good. Along with Gorilla.
It is good.
So
it is
that's
good.
a good sign for
The music
good sign
industry.
for independent venues. But
I hope you like spiders, by the way, because there's a tiny one crawling towards you.
new
I'm like the
Hearts
Pied
mascot.
Piper with spiders.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah,
no.
but I don't want
We
to
can't hurt it.
No,
on
don't
camera,
squish it,
let's-
especially not on camera because you don't want to be known as like,
move it.
oh, no, I don't like it.
Has anyone seen of Mice and Men where Joel?
Yeah, no, don't. Do you know what's so ridiculous is like, shut your eyes and close your ears. Other way round. This is such a bad hangover. If you've never ever read the book of A Mice and Men and you're like under 18, but I opened the book and it says
On the
George
first
shoots
page?
Lenny, and I was like,
read it at school?
shit, yeah.
My copy said exactly the same
And it's
thing.
like, what a
Yeah.
joke. But then I actually watched the film and I don't know if I was like hormonal or it was the time of the month or what. I burst into tears at the end. Like I was so upset and I was like, oh no, because he didn't. I don't know. I'm just getting.
What other books did you read in school? I've got
Handmaid's Tale, which I thought, wow,
sorry?
Handmaid's Tale. Wasn't it? Oh, she's breaking the fourth wall. Do you want to come on camera, Holly? She loves it.
Yeah.
She gets more involved every time. And also Atonement, which was the actual bane of my life.
Yeah,
I don't think the film was that
We
bad.
did.
I like The Great Gatsby.
Oh yeah, Great Gatsby was amazing. We did.
I did Coraline.
Coraline?
Oh, did you
Yeah, before it was a film.
She went to the cinema to see that. She was literally 12 and she had nightmares.
So
I was
scary.
sick.
It
Oh
is
my god,
crazy.
you were sick.
It's
Terry
scary.
Burton, isn't it?
Tim Burton.
Terry Burton.
Yeah, I swear.
Tim Burton.
I was like,
Terry Burton.
I don't even know.
Right, sorry.
What? There's another pug over there. Oh, I've got. Oh my gosh! Right, I've got to tell this story really quickly. Sorry to like put the limelight on me, but
I'm so scared now, right?
oh my gosh. So the issue is, right, earlier, when I was waiting for these lovely men, me and my sister, I'm obsessed with pugs. Like, I've got like a weird obsession with them. And these two women walked past a pug and I started staring at her and I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, like I'm staring at your dog. And then I have never in my life, Holly vouched for me, just say yeah, seen a dog wee like this. It split its back legs and sat like with its back legs split and was having a wee, and I was just sort of looking at these women like, I've made it nervous. And they were like, oh, it's performed for you. I was like, that's so weird. Yeah, I was like, what? So it splits its, I don't know, it was just weird.
This is where we cut the interview to the footage. We got that dog.
Running after it. Do it again.
Yeah, I know. Well, we could have like moved the camera. I don't know. They probably like want a restraining order out. So this is the quick fire round.
Right,
yes, be excited. So it's quite tame to start off with. So favourite cocktail?
Quick fire round.
Oh God, Long Island iced tea.
Passion porn star martini.
Do you like sex on the beach though?
Yeah,
That's the most important question.
No,
I
find
is that part of the questions?
No, I'm just asking
yeah,
you.
of course. Anything that's I do.
Anything with sex in it, I'll do. Is that what you just said?
It's true.
Oh,
It is
true. He's a very horny gentleman. Favourite animal?
Dog. Dog.
Favourite film?
Oh, Spirited Away.
Oh my gosh!
Very good.
It's mine and your favourite film. This is so weird, like all in sync.
Sorry.
Go on.
I'm talking over you. No,
I know.
you say.
I know. Whose interview is this?
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm being so serious right now.
Shawshank Redemption. I've
Yeah.
only seen it once,
It is
but it's a
very
brilliant
Once is
film.
enough.
But once is enough.
Favourite clothing brand?
Oh my God, this is so hard.
Cedarwood State. Primark.
EYTYS, what's that one?
Etsy.
No, it's not Etsy.
Etsy's like, so it's like a female.
What's your favourite brand of clothes?
I don't know. Like I know what they're called.
He likes walking around naked. Is basically what he's saying. Favourite food though, in general?
My
That's so
overnight oats.
funny.
Overnight oats. Are you a
I make
food
really good
blogger?
overnight oats, I'm not gonna lie.
What about gluten-free oats? Because I can't eat gluten, but
Do you know-
not for fashion, for an actual like medical issue.
We were going to bring you a gluten-free cake, but then we forgot.
Oh,
We didn't forget.
it's the thought that
I thought it
counts.
would be too much. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to scare me.
Creep her
It's
out.
like I would have just sat and eaten it, and if it was shit, I would have
Oh,
said.
yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I'm joking.
We would have bought one.
Yeah.
Favourite food? Are you going for overnight oats? I don't know.
Any time. Oh, that's so boring. Favourite Lonely Hearts song?
Sorry, favourite Lonely Hearts song? Oh my God. I think mine's got to be Serotonin.
Wow.
Are you in the band? Are you sure?
It's police.
Okay.
Right, I was basically on a holiday when I was about I was about 10 years old, and basically met a group of friends and we got on really well and stuff.
And you were 10, yeah?
Yeah, when I was 10 years old, and I remember sitting, I think this was like the second day, I saw them over there in the swimming pool, so I swam over there and sort of chatted to them, became good pals, and they went, oh, what's your name, mate? And I went, oh, this is an opportunity to like reinvent myself, so I was like, Connor, and I told them my name was Connor, and the whole holiday went past. It was I think it was like the last day or the penultimate day.
Yeah.
And basically they came over to where me and my family was, and they went. They called me and I rushed off away from my dad. I was like, oh, see that, Dad. Went into the swimming pool and was about to swim away, and he came over to me and went, oh, Kieran, you forgot this, and I was like, oh, cheers, Dad. And we sort of swam away really slowly.
That's so weird.
And they literally turned around and went, is your name Kieran? Why do you call you Kieran? And I was like, oh,
I've heard this loads as well.
I literally said this a few days ago, that's why it's fresh in my head, but I basically lied. So if you're watching this, like, I'm so sorry for saying my name was
That is so
Connor.
funny though. Is that why you were going to call yourself
Yeah, it was
like
back
as
then,
well?
but I can't say that in interviews, can I? If I was
No.
Connor,
But you don't know that his name's Kieran, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he could do that all the time.
He would.
No one would know.
Apart from the fact that that's your name on like all your social
Yeah, but you
media
change that
channels,
as well, you keep it rolling.
just
I would,
reinvent
yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and
But
that's going to be the
I must have been younger than
backstory.
10. I hope I was. I just didn't think I liked the name Kieran at the time.
Oh, I love the name Kieran. It's a
Thank you.
lovely name.
Thank
Don't
you.
change who you are for anybody.
I won't do it again.
No.
That was a lesson. That was a
Yeah,
big life
he
lesson.
knows when he got embarrassed,
What was
like
yours?
by his dad.
Mine, the most embarrassed I've ever felt is when I was very young, it's not even funny, but I can remember it being like traumatisingly embarrassing.
God.
Was that, and this sounds so stupid, I must have been like 5 or 6, but I was stood outside a shop and there was a you know,
Don't you say there was like a scary man or something because it's like suddenly didn't get funny.
Nothing like that. It's you know when your parents are next to you when you're a kid and you're like, oh, I was looking in the window, it was a Thunderbird like model in the window and I was like, oh, that's amazing, Dad. And I just grabbed hold of this man's hand. And it wasn't my dad.
Oh my
And I
God.
looked up and I went, can we get it? And then it was like my brain went, that's not your dad. And honestly, for about a year after that, I was just like, I can remember like the shame. It was
Thank
just
God
shame.
you grabbed his hand and not something else.
Well, I
When it
wouldn't
wasn't
even
even-
grab my dad's.
I literally can't even.
No, I was young, so I was just like, oh, can we please have the...
I bet he was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, and then I turned around and my parents were like on the opposite side of the road going...
Opposite side of the road.
Yeah, well, they'd walked off. This is another
He
thing.
left you.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
and then he
God.
went, we can, but I'm not your dad.
No, he didn't,
No,
really.
He said something along the lines of, he would have laughed along, but
Yeah.
pushed me in the correct direction.
Oh, for God's sake, that's
Yeah.
too much. That is too much.
We've got to quit the band. We've got to stop after this.
Oh my gosh. Right, before I leave you, is there anything you want to say to your adoring fans down the camera?
We'll be playing live as soon as possible.
We'll be back.
when we can. When it's
I'll be back.
And thank you for sticking with us.
Yes, thanks.
Oh,
For keep on listening. Now I'm breaking up live. I was fine earlier.
yeah.
Really
You're
sad.
You're just getting so nervous. I said to him, I was like, I don't bite, I just look like I do. But thank you so much for speaking to me, lads. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank
You
you for
too,
having
thank
us.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's been
Thank you.
amazing.